Hello and welcome to the Growing Green Landscapes Podcast with Jeremiah Jennings. While still in his early 20s, Jeremiah already runs a successful six-figure lawn maintenance company. Listen in as he and his guests share the things that have brought them success that can help you in your business. As a young entrepreneur in the green industry, Jeremiah emphasizes the tips and tricks involved in running a lawn maintenance business while discussing the principles applying to all small businesses. If you're wanting to grow, become profitable and professional, you're in the right place. And now, here's your host, Jeremiah Jennings.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome into the Growing Green Landscapes Podcast. This is your host, Jeremiah Jennings. Thank you all so much for tuning in to another episode today. And man, this is going to be a fun one. I am so excited for what we have today. We are doing a little collaboration here with another podcast host here that's new to the industry, or new to the podcasting game, just like I am. And I am very excited, guys. Hey, you are in for a treat because we've been sitting here talking for the first 10, 15 minutes before we hit record. And I don't even know what's going to happen. I just know it's going to be fun. We're sitting here going over intros and all this stuff, and it's just going to be a really fun time. But first off, I want to say thank y'all for tuning in today. Thank you for listening. As I've said in the previous episodes, the growth it's looking really good here recently. We are growing at a steady rate, and like I said, I don't want to become an overnight success. I want a good, slow, steady, and just I want to build a good community here in this podcast and just grow it one relationship at a time. But anyway, we're just going to hop right into today's show, and we have a very special guest. We have Dan Wheeler with the Fence Industry Podcast. Dan, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm good, sir. Thank you so much for having me on.
Absolutely. I'm excited. We are both pumped up. We are both coming off. I know I'm coming off a fun day. It's actually recording this Friday evening, so I try to take Fridays off if I can. Took Friday off today. Went out and got some. Actually made some new purchases. Got some new lawnmowers today. Just kind of time to out with the old, in with the new. Time to make us some more money with these new pieces of equipment and stuff. But that's enough. I know I'm fired up. I know Dan is. It sounds like, at least. He was sitting here talking beforehand. He was like, man, when I get fired up, I don't stop. So who knows how long this thing's going to go. But it's going to be a really fun episode. Well, Dan, let's kind of just hop into it. Tell everybody about who you are. And, if there's anybody out there that hasn't heard your podcast yet, let's go into that a little bit and just y'all's business at Fence, River City, right? Yes.
River City Fence, yep.
I've got Fence Industry on my mind. So River City Fence, go into that a little bit. Tell us, everybody, who you are.
All right, Jeremy. Again, thank you so much for having me on. So I have the Fence Industry Podcast, had about the same time as you, just here, middle of summer, I started it.
Yep.
But a little bit about myself, my background. My family fence business, River City Fence out of Fulton, Illinois, has been open since 1985. My dad's opened that and started that way back then. So I was born and raised in it. That's all I know. That's what I love. I worked through high school. After high school, did the college thing, hated college. Went back to the fence world. I loved it. I worked it every single day. Just like, most, family run businesses, we're all part of it. We all do our part. Shortly after that, I actually got on at John Deere, like I was telling Jeremiah, and I was a welder there for 6 years, which I learned so much that I have applied so much into the fence world, in our fence business, just as far as from standard operating procedures, like what Caleb Albin talks to 5S, all that stuff. So went back into the fence business after 6 years at Deere, and I started IG, and I was on Instagram just because I was following Kyle Stuppenhorst on YouTube, because I love his post frame buildings, and he's actually local to me, which that kind of led me to Stanley Dirt Monkey, and that led me to Brian Fullerton. Brian Fullerton kind of led me to the podcast world, which led me to Paul Jameson, and here I am now. So we started the Fence Industry Podcast, and things are going well. It's tough. It's not easy, and I'm sure working in the field every day and then coming home to this, and it's not. It's love for me. I love doing it.
Absolutely.
But yeah, and just talking to other people from across the country in your trade, man, it's just, I love it because it's just, I learned so much every single episode.
Yeah, it is definitely a time commitment, but it is so rewarding. I absolutely love getting to do this thing. It's an honor for me to just bring on the guests that I get to have on. I mean, having you on here tonight is an absolute honor. Some of the people that I've gotten to talk with already. So we're recording this, and my episode with Brian Fullerton on the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast, the Friday feature, came out today. If y'all haven't heard it, go back and listen to it. But it was such an honor to be on there, and it's just one of those things that I do not take for granted at all. And I know you don't either. We were sitting here talking before, and you talking about how you and Brian, you done a coaching call, and y'all have gotten to be kind of some friends here, and you've developed a good relationship with Paul, and it's just, I don't know, it's one of those things that you put the work in, and you do the back end stuff, like you said, it's a commitment, and it's hard working. I know you're out there in the field every day, but you come home and you do it consistently, and it pays off.
Absolutely. It's funny you say that, because I did a podcast episode that I had to get off my chest, and it was consistency kills.
Yes, I listened to that the other day.
Dude, I'm telling you, if guys can kind of get it through their thick skull and whatever trade you're in, I'm telling you, consistency kills in every way. And your efficiency will go up, and you know what follows with efficiency, and that's money, and that's profit. So I love that. I love that episode. I love getting that one off my chest. I know people want to hear more nuts and bolts, how to dig holes and what we use to set and material and blah, blah, blah. But there's still some back end work that we all can kind of learn from.
Absolutely. That's, I feel like you're kind of like me. I mean, I'm a little bit like you. I feel like I do this half the time just to rant a little bit, get a little bit off your chest, like you're saying. You got something on your mind, and you come on here and you talk about it and let the whole world hear about it. So the record button is a powerful thing.
It is. You have to be careful with it. But yeah, I've done some, when I'm going to do one on employees, and I think it's going to be like a 3-part one. But dude, I am going to ruffle some feathers, because I'm not to change subjects, but I'm just not one of those guys that are like, oh, this generation don't want to work. These kids don't want to work. Like, no, they don't want to work for you.
That's right.
You're not efficient. You don't have great tools.
Yep.
You don't invest in the company. When I hire on guys, and I'm hiring on guys, literally as we speak, I have interviews this weekend. I don't sell the, hey, you make this much, you get this much bonus, blah, blah, blah. I am investing every second of my day into this company, learning better techniques so you work less, work smarter, not harder. We have the best machines. We have Toro Dingos. I have every tool in the fence world that you could possibly want. We have it. So you work safer, smarter, and more efficient. And our product turns out, at a higher quality, which in turn, you can charge a higher rate. In turn, you're going to make, it's just a snowball effect.
Yeah. Yeah. But it starts with you, and it starts with the way you hire. And you actually beat me in our question. So that was really going to be my out of the gate question was, really, well, one, what is your title? What do you do? I mean, I know you say it's your parents. Are you kind of like chief operating officer? Where are you at in the business?
So we are a small business. I would like to think we're a very profitable business, because we have, we're just really efficient what we do. We're a small business, as in I run a crew every single day, Monday through Saturday. I have 2 guys on my crew. Now my dad is in the field, meaning he basically only stretches chain link, and we do chain link wood, vinyl, ornamental steel. He only does the stretch side because that's what he likes. He can kind of get in and out, because he also sells every job. He orders all the material. He does all the estimates, which I'm doing more and more here lately, because we're very old school in that form as far as job titles, but we're turning the curve, we're turning the rock to where now we have really good computers. Now we have iPads out in the field. Communication is so much better, and it seems like every day we're making strides and strides and strides, because remember, my dad started in 1985. He's no spring chicken. He's been at it a while. And when those guys get set in their ways, they're set in their ways. So it's hard to do things different. But he is coming around, and we do see those differences. But so I'm basically, you can call me a general manager. I'm also the foreman. I basically
field supervisor. You do everything.
Yeah, I do everything. I'm hands-on.
Yeah.
I know that I will be hands-on in the field basically the rest of my career, and I'm okay with that.
You sound like you love it. I mean, it's
love it.
It's not work if you love it every day. I mean, you're gonna have some rough days, but I mean, sounds like you like getting out of the bed and going to work.
So Jeremiah, I love, like today, we set 8 jobs out of 2 ready mix trucks. Meaning, yesterday and the day before, I went and dug 8 different 8 different fence jobs in one city. This is a small city. And you want to talk about route density in the fence world.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was all within like a mile and a half. 8 jobs, Jeremiah, and I set those 8 today. And I was done in 6 hours and 5 minutes. And that includes an hour of prep and 30 minutes of downtime waiting for my first concrete truck. So I love getting up. I couldn't sleep last night. I love am I going to beat my noon? Like my dad said, hey, can you get done by noon? I'm like, yeah I'm going to get done at 11:30 actually.
Well, man,
that's after
I feel
lunch.
bad for the guys on your crew. But I was actually listening to your episode the other day. I don't remember which one it was, but you were talking about how when you hire people on and they're on your crew and stuff, when you get out of the truck, you go. I mean, you're jogging to the post. You're putting it, I mean, you're getting the machine off. You're doing it. Mm-hmm. But that's the efficiency. That's the stuff that you want. Like, and I've actually dealing with that a little bit now, and it's honestly kind of a slap in the face to me. I've got me a new employee. He's been with us about 2 weeks now, and he's done really good. He has a little bit of experience from previous years doing it, and he's beating me out of the truck. He's getting the tailgate down. He's taking the push mower off, where all I have to do is go sit on the mower and pull the mower off. And it's like, right. And I've kind of got lackadaisical. I would sit in the truck for a minute or two, and then I'd stroll back to the gate, and I'd lower the gate and get the push mower, doing that stuff. But he came in, and he's talking like, and he's kind of beating me at the efficiency game. And I'm like, we need this in my business. And it sounds like exactly what you're implementing, because we're getting done faster, because every job you're at where you sit there for 5 minutes, those 5 minutes on 8 jobs, that's almost an hour. If you sat there for 5 minutes before you got out, I mean, so you wouldn't have gotten done by noon if you would have sat in the truck for the 5 minutes.
Right. Exactly. And that's the thing that some guys just need to kind of open their minds to. They're like, well, a minute here, a minute there ain't going to kill you. Yeah.
It does.
It will.
Yes, it will.
And my guys, we're paying them premium wages.
Yep.
But along with that, I have expectations. And now I'm not a jerk about it. I'm not like, get out of the truck. No, they're out of the truck. I'm grabbing my paperwork, and I'm a stiff wrist walk. I already have a general idea just from the drawing on the paperwork, and my dad goes over every job every morning with me. So I have a general idea. But those guys are out of the truck, man. They know straps are off. If we're digging right away, machines getting warmed up, especially this time of year. And yes, we're cooking, and we're cooking with bacon grease. I always tell the guys. There's just I see other crews, that are like at Home Depot at 8:00 in the morning, like construction guys, and they're like just farting around. Time. They got the hood over their head because they're like still half asleep, and like I'm in and I'm out, and it just. Which I never go to, if you're a contractor and you're going to Home Depot.
There at 8:00.
No, that like if you're going there more than like once every 2 weeks for something super random, you're doing something wrong. Yeah. I implemented the J Squared like rack of like shopping. It's just I have this huge rack full of every single thing that we need.
Yep.
That's disposable, and we implemented that this year. Game changer.
Yeah.
Game changer. So we're never at like a hardware store or the Home Depot or Menards or whatever. That's just that kills efficiency. It just, and if guys don't see it, maybe they don't need that extra efficiency for the extra money, but guess what? It still adds up. It's who wouldn't want a little bit more money in the pocket and get off a little earlier in the day.
Yeah. Yeah. That's my guy was talking about he wants his hours and stuff. I'm like, dude, look, if we get our job done, you're going to get your hours. I don't care. I want to be home at 3:00. If you get the work done, you're still going to get paid. Like I'm not going to cheat you your hours if you work harder. And that's kind of, you know who Mike Andes is?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. He does the P for P policy, and I haven't really implemented that totally. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah. So
have you kind of dabbled in it?
So it's actually, John Deere did that. It's basically piecework or like maybe job work in like a trade industry where you get a base rate. If you get set out on this job, it's supposed to take 8 hours. It takes you 12. Well, you're not going to go in the negative or lose money, I guess. You're still going to make, let's say $17 an hour, 18, whatever it is. But if you do better, obviously you're going to make a little bit more money because you're going to be there less hours. So if it's based at 8, you get the job done in 8 hours. Perfect. You make that great pay. Get done at 6 hours or 7. Now you're making more money technically, because you're on that job in the field less hours that day.
Efficiency. That's what it all goes back to. I mean, it goes back.
Yeah, it's pushing that employer to be efficient, and it makes sense. It's hard to track, I think, unless you have some, I don't know, there's apps and programs now out there, but in the fence world, coming from my family business, we used to have employees that they would probably, I would say, buck that, meaning like, they're there for hours. They're there not to work hard. But now our company culture is 100% different. And those guys know that the quicker we get done, the more we get done, the more money I'm putting in their pocket.
Yep, absolutely. So this culture, man, if y'all have listened to my podcast, any of the previous episodes, company culture has been a huge thing that I've been hitting on recently. I've had multiple talks with guests about that. And it sounds like we're going to have another one today. Not all of it, but it's a huge thing. And I'm at a point where I'm hiring employees, and I want to learn these things and implement them now. So when I do start hiring more employees, we have this culture. So is this something that you have kind of brought into the company? Has your culture been this way since you started when you were a kid, or is this efficiency, high efficiency, like moving quick? Is that something that you're kind of bringing in and ramping things up?
So high efficiency, my dad's always been high efficient. We've had a foreman that was with us for a long time that was super good, but he parted ways. Now we had the complete other end of the spectrum where it's just low energy, bad attitudes, just like the diseases of the world. But yes, when I came back, and again, going back to the lawn world, like when I found Brian's podcast and Paul's podcast, and things just started clicking. And I follow Caleb Allman, everything that he does. I had a coaching call with Caleb Allman actually this winter. I had one with Mike Bedell. And what I gathered, I wanted to run by them and say, I wanted them to tell me, yes, you're correct, or no, you're not. And company culture was the big thing. I brought that in, I would say, because again, my dad's old school. So I kind of brought that in. Whether it's, sitting the guys down and just talking shop a little bit, talking about what do you like, what do you don't like, what can we do for you, what's going to make your life easier at home, is there something that we're doing that you don't like, and so let's just get it on the table. And typically you want to do that kind of one by one, because some guys don't want to say something in front of another. And again, we all, even the last few years, we've had employees that weren't good, that weren't great. We knew they were going to leave sooner or later. But that's what brings the company culture down, because those guys that left, that are no longer with us, didn't wear a company supplied uniform. They didn't wear, I had to yell at them, and I don't want to say yell, but I had to bark at them to put safety glasses on when they're cutting.
Yeah.
To wear gloves, to have their boots tied in the morning and punched in and prompt, and not only mentally but physically be ready to work at 6:30 or 6 a.m., whatever their start time was, to when it's July and 110 degrees with humidity, to have the proper food and water for that day. And those are all little things that some people are like, well, duh. Well, it's not so duh. Common sense is not common anymore. But yes, Jeremiah, you got to implement just a system across the board right now. Yeah. Anybody that's listening, I don't care if you have one employee. If you have just with one, you still have to have systems.
Yeah. And
I know people hate that. Some hate it. But, do you want to live a carefree world, or do you want to constantly be dealing with the little things from employees? Maybe they should be gassing up at night and they're gassing up in the morning. Mm-hmm. And that's hard on a guy. That's hard on a business owner. And if you look the other way and you don't kind of nip it in the butt sooner than later, it's just going to escalate. It's a snowball effect.
Yeah. You gotta don't let them get set in those ways. It's like you're saying, your dad's been doing it for so long. He was kind of set in his ways. If somebody would have been there to teach him a long time ago, he might not have gotten set in those ways, and it wouldn't be so hard to change. And kind of what you said about common sense real quick. We have a talk show down here that's very popular, the Rick and Bubba show. I don't know if anybody out there is listening that knows who they are. That let me know, because they're really big. They're nationwide, but their slogan is "Common sense is a superpower." It's not common sense. It's like you're saying, it's not common sense anymore. It's not just like everybody doesn't have it, and it is a superpower. So create those systems and those operation things that you should have in place. Start them early on in your business, and that's something that I'm learning and hoping to implement. So, well, like I said, you answered my question. My question was going to be, how do you get people out of bed at 6:00 in the morning to go dig in the dirt and stretch chain link and do all that? Well, you just answered those questions. So kind of take me through a little bit. I'm interested in the fence world, really. Kind of, I've actually have some cousins that they have their own fencing company. 2 brothers, they do it. They've been doing it kind of like your dad, been doing it for 40 years. I've been doing it a long time. And it's really interesting. I don't know that much about it, but my dad's a handyman. He knows how to do it. Take me through like a morning. What does a day look like for you? Like you said, you dug your holes yesterday. Did you set posts today? Kind of the fence process. Really, real quick rundown of what it's like to build a fence from start to finish.
So every day is very different, but very much the same. I approach every day the same. I start at 6 with my 2 main guys, and I go in and I'm at my dad's office at like 5:45. He's there at like 4:30. Gives me a quick, dude. Just gives me
crazy.
Like a rundown of like we're either digging setting today or we're finishing. Meaning, we're going to set posts in concrete or we're going to finish a fence.
Yep.
Now tomorrow we're going to do so. Like this morning, I already had 8 jobs dug. I knew we were setting, so we come in, we go through the jobs again. That's all the posts are there. Any last minute things. I had an offset post I had to fab up quick this morning. And, I just run through the list, and I personally look at every job and I can picture how I do every job. I picture the job in my head and I'm like, I know I'm starting here when we're setting it here. There's no issues there, nothing there. We're going to wheelbarrow concrete this way. So when I pull up to the job, I'm not doing all that thinking there. I already have a game plan in my head. So when we do get there, I'm running through with the guys like, hey, let's start here. We're going to wheelbarrow through here. You got neighbors. Some are good. Some are bad. You just have to, some are picky. You don't want to even set foot on the yard. You got to bring those to the attention of the guys so there's no issues later. But yeah, we go through our day. Today we hit our goal at noon, and then we kind of coasted after lunch. We did some dirt work with the dingo. But like on the other end of the world or spectrum is like a finish site. If I'm going to go do a wood job tomorrow, I got my wood tools. I come out, I tell Francisco and Lupe are my 2 main guys, like, let's load the wood tools. We're taking 1 unit of wood. We're taking this unit of wood and this unit and this and that. Grab, very miscellaneous things. And they're loaded, the trailer's hooked up, and I want to be at my job at 7 a.m. And then I usually am starting right about 7:05, making noise, and then we're cooking right after that. So.
Do y'all have a noise ordinance? Is 7? Or do you even know?
No. We've never had an issue.
Yeah.
But I don't make any noise until like 7:05.
Yeah.
Just
if you're a working class person, you're up at 7. I mean, if you got a job to be to, most of the time you're up at 7.
Yeah, and it's one of those things. We're just a fence company, so I'm going to be at your house at most twice. 1 to dig and set it, and 2 to finish it. So I'm not building the house next to your house.
Yeah.
Where I'm going to be there for 6 months at 6 a.m. Banging hammers.
Yeah. So you say twice. Are pretty much every fence y'all do, you're finishing in 2 days?
Yes, it's a dig and set side and a finish side.
2 days, every job.
2 days, basically every single job. Now The last 2 weeks I had a couple that went 3. Just because we haven't had rain in like 8 weeks. Mm-hmm. And like I dug, was the day before yesterday, in a sandy conditions, and the ground was so hard. I thought I hit like a chunk of asphalt. It was a new subdivision, so I thought they backfilled it with like a chunk of asphalt. It was that hard. So like it chewed my teeth. I had new teeth on my auger. It's a Bobcat auger, and it chewed them clean in half. I only dug 8 holes.
Oh my.
Yeah, so that's how dry it is here. So that's the only. That's the only. But yeah, I'm 2 days, and like when my dad's like, "Well, this is a big one. If you need to take a day and a half to set it, like a day,
2 days,
no,
2 days."
No, I'm like, that's not happening. I'm not coming home until it's done, and I'm not working no 14-hour day. Like I will be back in 10, and that will be dug and set, dirt cleaned up, everything ready to rock and roll for tomorrow.
That's crazy. You said that about the drought. I was actually I saw an Instagram post tonight. Somebody set their edger on like the piece of lawn in between the sidewalk and the road. Somebody set their edger in the grass, and it caught the grass on fire in Missouri today. Yeah. It burned the whole stretch right there. And I didn't realize. I knew it had been dry because I'm in Alabama. Out here on the East Coast, we have had the wettest year on record. I mean, we have had so much rain. I don't even know how to keep up with it. It's got to have rained 65 out of the last 90 days, at least.
Wow.
At least. I mean, it is insane. But
I think we got like 30 minutes of rain like 3 days ago, and before that, we haven't had one rain day all year. I'll be honest, not one rain day.
Really? That is
not
insane.
one single rain day. Nothing.
So what are I don't really know that many. I know Wildy Lawn Service out here in Missouri. The lawn companies that you see, are they still mowing? I mean, are they?
No.
Really?
No. They're the only ones that are mowing, and like irrigation isn't, we're very much a middle class area, so not a lot of homes have irrigation. No, I haven't. I have a guy that mows my lawn, a company that mows my lawn. He hasn't mowed for like 3 weeks. Yeah. And if they are, they're like super picky people. The weeds that still grow for some reason.
Yeah.
Like they're out there
They'll go
hacking
through
them
anything.
down. Yes, it's weird. And but yeah, they're out there cutting that for super picky people. But other than that, no, nothing.
Man, that's tough. That is tough.
And then we had probably the hottest summer ever because I think 2 straight weeks of like 100-degree real feels. Yeah. The hottest day we had was 117 real feel.
Oh my.
So, dude, it was rough.
Yeah.
It was rough.
We actually had a pretty mild one. We were mid 90s most of the summer, which is pretty mild for us. I mean, it's hot down here, but that's crazy. I like talking weather in different parts of the country. It's crazy how different everything is on total different sides, but it's cool to me. But well, that's cool. So the job, so as opposed, well, not as opposed. I don't know why I said that. So fencing, when you have a privacy fence, and it's obviously, so you have to nail in every single fence board. Is that fence going to take you a lot longer than like a picket fence or I mean a chain link fence, a chain link or a panel? Yeah, like I mean, how much? So you're saying everything's done in 2 days? The efficiency is killing me here. It's like it's really inspiring me. I'm loving this is because you're saying you're going to do a privacy fence where you have to nail up every single board, make sure they're all level, get the slope the right way if they're on a hill. You're going to do that in the same time you're going to do a chain link fence.
Yeah, a chain link fence will be quicker. Jeremiah, say I went out with my dad and maybe one other employee and we just did chain link fences, backyard, your typical run-of-your-mill quarter-acre lots. Yeah. No joke, 2 gates each job. I could probably knock out 4 of those in one day.
No way, man! This is crazy. I did not know it was that fast.
In 10 hours, and that would include the load to get to the job sites. Yeah. And again, all our jobs are somewhat close. We have a great reputation. Yeah. And come back and unload 10 hours. Wow. All day long.
That's impressive. So let's talk chain link for a minute. Man, guys, I made the biggest mistake, and I know you can attest to this. Well, you can back me up here. So 2 or 3 years ago, I was doing a leaf cleanup in a backyard, and I was doing front and back, but the backyard was a chain link fence, and it only had a 30-inch gate, and it was a pretty big backyard. It wasn't just like a little tiny backyard. It was a big one, full of leaves. Had a massive oak tree back there. And I was like, man, I'm not going to sit out here and bag these leaves, blow them off. There's no way I'm getting them through that gate. I would be there for 4 hours. And I had the bright idea to unhook the chain link from the gate post, from the fence post, so I could drive my mower through there. That might be single-handedly the hardest thing I've ever done, pulling that chain link back to the fence.
Yep.
I mean, that was hardest I've ever done.
Yeah, it's now with like ours, we use like a come along.
Yeah, and I didn't have one. I wish I would.
Yeah, or even at that. So my dad gets like, I always say he gets super greedy when he stretches chain link. It sounds weird, but like his stuff, we call it's like banjo string tight. Like if a baseball hit one of our chain link fences, it's gonna go like further than it did to get to it. Like when it's go ding, and dude, it's just he gets super greedy. Tight. Dude, it's tight. So like one of ours, unless you're like the Hulk, you ain't pulling that thing back and putting it. It's not happening.
Yeah, don't ever unhook one. So that's guys. No. If you're out there and you need to get in a chain link backyard, unless you have a come along, do not unhook that fence from the fence post, because that was one of the greatest. I mean, it was. Now we got it back, and it saved me a lot of time. So I'm not like mad I did it, but man, it was hard. It was hard to get back. It's
not easy.
No, not at all.
No.
Well. That's cool. The fence side of things really interests me. The employee side of things interests me. What is so how many jobs y'all try to do a day? I mean, I guess do you have a yearly total? I mean, do you take the winter off in a fence world?
Well, we're like considered northern Illinois, so
Yeah.
I'm basically straight west side of Chicago till you hit the Mississippi. So what's weird is like you'll get like a random snowfall like in November, and I'm talking like 8 inches, but then it'll melt in like a day and a half. So we'll like work through November, December. I'd like to think we're going to work halfway through January, and then the ground just becomes
Too
so
hard.
frozen, so frozen that you ain't going to work. Now, sometimes what we try to do is they can set just a ton of posts on a ton of jobs. So as long as you don't get like 2 feet of snow, we can just keep working. All like the groundwork is technically done.
Yeah.
So we're just building. That's what I like to do. But yes, once it gets so cold, I don't want to be out there because like you see with the chain link.
Yeah.
Can you imagine putting those little nuts and bolts in the chain link?
Oh,
you can't do it. I can't work with gloves. I personally can't. So I don't wear gloves 99% of the time. You can only handle so much of that when it's that cold. But so we start really like the last week of March through through December around January 1st.
Yeah.
But as far as like job total, no, we just go balls to the wall.
Just go with it. Yeah.
Yes, we go. And again, we may be getting smaller every year. Now we're just kind of going, we kind of going smaller. So you can kind of say we're going downhill. Now we're making that curve. We're going back up, hiring great people. And I'm sure you listened to Caleb's episode with Riley when he was on J Squared.
Yep.
When he was like, we're only going to grow as fast as like we can hire great people. And that dude, that's the biggest golden nugget ever. Because my dad used to have 9-10 employees and it was chaos.
Yeah.
It was chaos. No systems, no leaders, or the leaders didn't have a voice. But dude, Riley hit the nail on the head. Like you should only grow as quickly as you can hire great people. And if you don't have great people in there, dude, it's all on the owner's shoulders.
Yeah.
You're
cleaning up. You're cleaning up other employees' mistakes and mess ups and all that stuff. So those 10-hour days that you want could turn into 12-hour days just because you're cleaning up messes.
Or worse.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or worse.
And cost a lot of money too.
Mm-hmm.
So how many crews do y'all have?
So we have 2 crews.
Okay. Y'all and then one more.
Yep.
Okay.
Which it would be my dad.
Your dad runs. Okay. So your dad's still in it pretty much every day then.
Yeah. He works a lot. He's in there at God knows when. I'm not there that early. And then he's there after I leave. And then typically when he leaves at say 5, then like today, my mom put 20 appointments together for tomorrow for Saturday. He's running 20 bids. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow. So y'all are crushing it. I mean, this is impressive. Yeah. I'm really impressed for 2 crews. The amount of work that y'all get done, you work hard.
Dude, it's efficiency, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
People don't believe me, and I'm like, hey, come watch me.
And efficiency, it makes working more enjoyable. Like because like you're saying, your systems, what you're gonna do. Like you just show up, you do it, and you get done, and you move on. Like it, but you don't. It's not that you hate what you're doing. You're good at it, and you do. Yeah. I don't know. Like you said, consistency kills. That's a great episode that you had. If y'all have not listened to that, go check out Fence Industry Podcast. Consistency kills. That was a great show. So, well, what does your personal life look like? Are you married? You got kids? What does y'all's family life look like?
I have a beautiful girlfriend, Sandy. Okay. She works a ton too. We live right here. I'm not too far from our shop. I live right in our little city.
Yeah.
Which I think is like, I want to say 4,500 people. It's nice, neat, clean, small community. We love it. I have a house that's like from the 1920s that I've been remodeling. I was like, I can flip this in 4 months. And that was a year and a half ago.
But one of your goals got crushed.
Yes, dude. And trust me, like I pushed myself every day to get something done. And here in the last week, like it finished, got painted, my fence got stained, and like everything's like really coming together now.
Yeah.
And I just got a couple of rooms I'll do over the winter. I'll bring our guys in and we'll gut it and finish my last few rooms. And then I'm done, dude. I'm done with the house and then I'm going to relax. But yeah, I spend as much time with family as I can. I come from a big family. I'm the youngest of 5.
Okay.
So I have a bunch of sisters, couple nephews, niece. Sandy does too, and we love spending time with family. We are both. I'm half Mexican. Sandy is full blown Mexican. So.
Oh wow, cool.
Dude, tons of food, tons of tacos.
Yeah.
Love it. We're always getting together. Lots of grilling out. Can't complain.
So, are you the kind of guy that's going to go eat like an American Mexican restaurant or like street tacos, like that type of stuff?
Yeah, I'm talking like taco truck.
Yeah,
don't order you can't order in English.
That's
like,
not me. That's not.
Oh. No.
Do you speak Spanish full blown?
No. Okay. Very little.
Okay.
Just enough to
order at the food truck.
Yep. Can I get Tres taco de lengua?
Yeah,
that's all I need.
And a large Dr Pepper or whatever.
Yeah. Yep.
Is there a lot of sweet tea up there? Does anybody drink sweet tea up there?
No.
Oh, good night, people. You Northerners. I don't even know how y'all live. Like, do you drink sweet tea? Do you know? Have you ever drank it?
Absolutely not.
You're kidding.
Dude, I can't even. No.
Okay, because you don't like it or because of health? Or like, I see you drinking Gatorade Zero. So like, I see you're like trying to keep the sugars down and all this stuff.
No, you know why I drink this is because I'm like one of those people that cramp crazy bad.
Really?
So like at night, dude, I
load up.
Like, dude, like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
Because I'm bad at it. But yeah, sweet tea, no way, no how. If I took a sip of it, no, that throws my taste buds off like for a week.
That blows my mind. I mean, I like drink it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Like that is what's down here. No. That's crazy. So like at McDonald's, I mean, no sweet tea? Nobody drinks sweet tea up there?
People do it because up here, I think it's like $1 or something like that. Like in the summer, they push it hard.
That blows my mind.
Few people do, but up in my area, I'll be completely honest, it's a Mountain Dew Pepsi. Everyone is Mountain Dew Pepsi. That's it.
See, and I'm the total opposite. You cannot force feed me Mountain Dew like that.
Really?
No way. I'm not. I just don't drink soft drinks. Really. I mean, they're okay, but I don't. They make me feel too bad. I hate drinking soft drinks.
Yeah. I can't drink. I have to drink like diet stuff because if I drink the regular stuff with all that sugar, man, I can't sleep at night. So
my wife's weird. She's like, she would rather have diet than normal. Like she would rather drink diet. Like it tastes better.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. I've gotten that point. Yeah.
That's funny. Yep. That's funny. Well, this is going to be might be the most random question ever in a podcast. Do y'all do football up where you are? Are you a big football fan? We're in prime football season right now.
So growing up, I was the biggest Green Bay Packer fan ever. I really don't do anything professional, but I don't know if you watch. I consider myself an Iowan, which is Hawkeye country.
Yeah.
You know the best home football stadium in the country is in Iowa City.
That's debatable.
In Iowa City.
Y'all just had game day, didn't you?
Yeah.
Was that?
I think so.
Was it Iowa State or at Iowa?
It was at Iowa State in Ames, Iowa. Yep. Yeah, but Kinnick Stadium, there's not a football team in this country that's going to come into Iowa City.
Be careful what you say.
That's going to come to Iowa City under the lights on a Saturday and not leave with – they may leave with the W, but they're going to be like, okay, I don't want to go back there ever again.
Okay, yeah. I can respect that. I'm a big Auburn fan, and so at the time of this recording, last week we played Penn State at Penn State under the lights, white out. I mean, I wasn't at the game, but just watching on TV, that environment was absolutely insane. I will give you that. The stadiums up north, they pack them out, and they go hard. They go hard.
Yeah. Iowa, University of Iowa, I'm pretty sure is like party college capital of the year every year, dude. Dude, it's when they went down to –
Don't go to get an education, go to party.
No, oh yes. 100%. Yeah. When Iowa State went to Memphis a couple years ago, I remember they drank Memphis out of Busch Light, straight period.
Oh my!
The community went dry on Busch Light.
There was just none in the city.
Nothing left. Nothing left. Out.
What a reputation! What a reputation to have.
Proud of it.
Oh man, that's funny. That might, like I said, that might be the biggest sidetrack and most random question in podcast history. But I just had to know. We're in football season, and I love college football. So back to River City and fencing and all the business principles here. So how old were you? Was your dad doing the business when you were born, or did he start that after you were like?
Nope, he started it a couple years prior to me being born.
Okay.
Yes.
So that works out for my question then. So what I want to know, and you might be able to give some advice here. So for all of us entrepreneurs, small business owners out here cutting grass, whether it be fencing, whether it be pressure washing, cutting grass, hardscaping, whatever it is, you grew up. So I did not have the opportunity, and I think a lot of people out here did not grow up in a family business. They didn't grow up with their parents being business owners. You did. So without you having kids, and I don't know if you want to in the future or not, whatever that situation is, you don't have to talk about that. But as you who grew up in a small business family, you grew up as your parents run a business, which is my goal. I want to have kids. I want my kids to grow up in a family business. What are some tips that you would give to me, to us, to the listeners out there, to Brian? Give tips. Who would ever thought you give tips to Brian about how to run a family business for little Emmy, brand new baby, and the stuff that you saw growing up, how you saw your parents run it, the good and the bad. What are some good things they did? What are some things that you wish they would have changed?
So, Andy Mulder and how he sets just dedicated time for bids and estimates. I remember growing up, and this is no joke, every single night we ate dinner at about 9:00. My dad came home. He worked all day. Now, this is prior to cell phones and all that stuff. This is, dating myself. But back then, you worked all day in the field. You get phone calls for estimates, and then you got to go do them. So, you should only be chasing the work that's probably, legitimate, not the tire kickers.
Yep.
So that's like step one, because that's just going to drop out the bottom feeders. That's what we're going to do, is like start from the bottom up and get rid of that bottom feeders that just, like I say, like they're on their, nowadays, they're in bed on a Sunday night and they say, I want a fence. And they get on Facebook and say, hey, can you come to my house tomorrow night for a fence? Or
and give me a free estimate.
And give me a free estimate.
Yeah.
And, darn a well, they have no intentions in dropping 2, 3, 5, 15 grand in their back.
Yep.
And you can usually tell right off the bat, like, I just want this whole fence in my backyard. I want a vinyl and I want no maintenance, and you see how they take care of their yard. You can put 2 and 2 together.
Yep.
Typically.
Yep. You have common sense.
You have to, you got to be able to kind of get rid of those bottom feeders. And one easy way is charging for an estimate. That is going to take away a lot of people. 2, you got to just set strict guidelines where I only do estimates on this day, and this day, this time, blah, blah, blah. You're the contractor. We're sought out after nowadays.
You're in charge.
Yes, we're not seeking work.
Yeah.
Yes, that's going to change. But if you're doing super high quality work like the Andy Mulders of the world, or the Jeremy Swineharts, they're going to come after you.
Yep.
They come after River City Fence, and I'm proud to say that. We don't advertise and haven't in over 5 years, but they came up to us. They will wait. They see their neighbors. They drive by the fence on the corner at the whatever. They're like, I have to have that company do it. And they will wait. So that's one thing, is just setting those strict guidelines, time frames. And you just got to set time aside for family. Is that every Sunday? Is it every Saturday? Is it Mondays in the summer? Getting the guys set off, whatever your business looks like. And when you're small, it's hard. It's hard because you do everything. But we live in an era now, everyone has a cell phone. Everyone has an app. There's just so much you can kind of delegate. Caleb Allman says, delegate what you don't want to do.
Yeah.
My podcast stuff, I did not want to do all that back and work because I knew it wasn't going to get done at a professional level or just done, period.
Yeah.
So I delegated it. I'd love to be dabbling in some YouTube stuff, and I knew I wasn't going to edit. I don't know how to do all that stuff. So I found a guy that's going to edit for me if I get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
It's stuff like that. You just got to be it's like a diet. You got to be really strict with it. If you want to see the results and the results you want, you just got to be so diligent and strict with it, and don't veer off, because you know what happens when you take that one bite of a chicken nugget. Well, I'm going to take 2. Then one meal is going to kill me. And then it's, the next day, those chicken nuggets taste great yesterday. I'm going to do it again today. Then it's just, it's that snowball effect I always talk about. And you just got to be consistent and diligent with everything. And like we talked earlier with employees, you got to nip stuff in the butt, because that's just one less headache you want to deal with. In your day-to-day, that stuff just adds up and it takes away from family time. You're rescheduling, you're coming in work clothes. Every function on a weekend growing up in my childhood, my dad came in his work clothes.
Yeah.
Every single one. I don't care what it was, every single one. And everyone knew he was coming from work, and typically he came late. But he did what he had to do. Times were different back then. I was the youngest of 5, and he really built the business. So, yes, you have to put the time in. I'm going to be the one that benefits from all his hard work. I'm just putting some icing on the cake here and there, the company culture, that little stuff. I'm going to be the one that's going to benefit from my dad's hard work.
One quote for that: "Who wins when you succeed?"
Exactly.
That's it, right there. In the words of Brian Fullerton, "Who wins when you can succeed?" That might have been his best podcast episode ever. I know people are still listening to that for the first time, and it was a great one. But that's good advice, because for me, that is something that that's my goal. Like, my goal is to have a business that supports my family, but also I want to have a family. Like, I want to have family time. I want to spend time with them. And the delegating thing, I think, is huge, because you might not know that we just had a Signal Green event, which was a first annual lawn bro meetup for the South. We had it in Nashville. Great event. One of our speakers there, everybody knows about the 80-20 rule. If you don't know about the 80-20 rule, just Google it. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff about it. Well, he was talking about, 80% of the stuff you shouldn't be doing. There's 80% of your work, the owner, you should not be doing. You need to be focusing on the 20% that is going to make you the money, and that's like the 20% that is in your tier level is what you should be doing. That's like Caleb, and I know you're a big Caleb fan, and you follow his podcast. I think we all do. It's like he says, the owner should not be changing the oil in the mower. You should have an employee that does that, and I think that's something that if you don't start now, it's like it's just all one big recurring thing here. You get set in your ways. If I don't start that now with my first employee, when I have a kid, I'm not going to be able to, because I'm going to be like, oh, I'll just do it. I'll just do it at the end of the day, and then I'm going to miss. It's like we said, 30 minutes here and there. Oh, it's not a big deal, but it is a big deal. The 30 minutes that I miss with my kids, it's a huge deal. Mm-hmm. And so you got to start that.
Yeah, it's exactly like that. And let me give you an example, Jeremiah. In the fence world, our chain link side, we do commercial, industrial, residential, and we do it in black and galvanized. We have a little bit of other stuff. But anyways, my story is we have fittings. We have a 50-foot long wall in our shop, and it's 6 foot tall, and it's nothing but like a gazillion cubbies of these fittings. Now, when we do a bunch of chain link jobs, we have these buckets and pails full of fittings that anybody can put away. It's like a round hole, round peg. And my dad sometimes still insists on doing that. And that's when I go to that 80-20 rule. I'm like, Dad, these guys are more than capable of putting this loop cap with the loop cap. Yeah. You can't mess it up, Jeremiah. Yeah. You can't. It's like stocking a cooler of the Gatorades. The blue Gatorades are this one, the reds are this one. Yeah. You can't mess it up. It's going to only take me 5 minutes. Yeah. It's going to take them 10. Yeah. But guess what? They're going to get it done, and you're going to do stuff that's way above their pay grade. Yeah. And now they're being more familiarized with everything in our shop. So now next week when they do it, it's going to be 9 minutes. Yeah. And the week after that, it's going to be 8 until they get to your point where it's 5 minutes.
Yeah. And the 5 minutes that he's spending, that could be 5 minutes he's writing up an estimate or at a property, making, like, selling work and making money. Let the guys that aren't at that level yet, let them do this. Like you said, put the stuff, stock the bins, do whatever they need to do. Mm-hmm. That's not work that you should be doing. So start that now. Start that in your business now, because and even if you don't have kids, spend the time with your wife, spend the time with your girlfriend, like that. The relationships in life is what matter. What do I say in this podcast? I want to build this community to build relationships. Like, that's what I want out of this. Now we've done a podcast. I hope we get to grow a relationship in the future, me and you, Dan. Even though we're across the country, technology has brought us together, and now we can help other people out there, build a relationship with each other, and it's so good for your mental health. Like, I'm a social person, and everybody's not that way, but I'm a very social person. You seem to be that way. You seem to come across very energetic, like, hey, let's hang out, let's talk shop, let's do that. That is good for your soul. And if you don't do that with your wife or your girlfriend, whoever it may be, if you don't make the time for them now, you're not going to do it when you have kids. And when you get married, when you live together, whatever your situation is, you have to do that stuff now.
Absolutely. It's crazy that I spoke about this on Paul's podcast. Like, in the construction and the trade and the lawn and landscape world, all the business owners are turning the page now, where it used to be, we used to all work, get dirty, and make just enough to get by. Now we're building our minds. Now we're working on the back end work. Now we know what makes sense. Spending time with family. We know how to get to that point because we know how to delegate now. It's just with social media, when you put 100,000 minds together, that's so much better than just the one.
Yeah.
And I always say, you learn one thing from one podcast that's going to save you time or money. And I listen to so many podcasts every single day.
Yeah.
And then it just snowballs again over and over. And now I have so much I'm going to apply next year. It's crazy. And I hope to see that on the bottom line. It all comes down to that and time. And time is with family.
I hear you. That's all good stuff, guys. One quick question on fencing before we wrap this thing up. Do y'all stain? Do you stain fences at all, or do you just build them?
No. So that's one thing that I learned through social media is I found a company that's making stain out of Nashville, Tennessee, called Stain and Steel Experts. Tongue twister.
That's a tough one.
And so I have 2 really big wood decks that I built and a big wood fence at my personal house, and I wanted it stained. And I reached out to these guys because I found them on social media. My boy Mike Davis out of Richmond, Virginia, is a dealer for him. He's like, man, you got to try it. It's environmentally conscious. He's like, do it. I did it. Great. I'm hooked. So now every wood job that we sell, I am going to pitch a stain quote to them and a why and all that. So
maybe a new venture here coming up is what it sounds like.
Oh, it's going to be. Yes. Yeah. Profit margins are great.
Really.
And you really, trailers, no nothing. It's 1 employee or 2, but it's a win-win.
I know nothing about the fencing industry, but I can just tell you from the outside looking in, and I know you know this. I guarantee you your closing rate will be insane. I bet you will close at least 75% because the efficiency that y'all are implementing, the quality of work you're doing, when they see the quality of that fence go up, and then you say, hey, we can stain this. And what do you have to wait, like a month, 2 months before you stain?
And what's crazy is, so I was just having the same conversation with my dad. We go above and beyond with all my pressure-treated wood is always wet and heavy. Yeah. That's why you can't stain it. Yeah. So we space all that out to dry it, pre-dry it at our shop. So I can literally stain next day on all my wood jobs.
See, that right there. If you can say, hey, look, most people, if you have another, you got to wait 6, 2, 3, 5, however many months to do it. Right. Because I have a customer that just did that. They got it put back up in, I think they put it up in I think it was March, and they're just now getting it stained. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I know they could have done it sooner, but now the wood looks bad. Like it looks all brown. I'm like, if you can, so in your case, let's put up the fence. You already paid for the fence. Let's just spend the extra $1,000, $1,500, however much it is to stain. Let's do this, and it's really going to up your quality of the product. It's going to add value to your home. It's going to look so much. I can't. I want to hear about I want to hear these. Mm-hmm. I want to get back with you in January or something, maybe the end of next year once you've done it a while. I bet your closing rates are going to be insane.
Jeremiah, I guarantee you I will be at least 75% minimum.
Minimum. Absolutely. Minimum, yeah. I'm saying minimum. I mean, if you want to get risky, I think you might be in the 90s. I think you seriously might be in the 90s.
I do too. And it's just falling together for me. I'm telling you, that preparation thing. My part-time welder is just a great carpenter. Yeah. And now I am bringing him on literally maybe tomorrow, but definitely Monday to start building my wood fences after I have the post set because that's easy. And he does a ton of painting. He's actually the one that stained my fence. And I'm like, Ricky, dude, we can do this. You can do this. He's like, yeah, I love it. Oh, the stain was great. It was the best he's ever used, he said. It was easy. You don't have to wear a respirator because there's no chemical smell to it. Yep. And I'm like, Cardo, you not only are going to build my fences, but you're going to stain every single one. Dude, so I got it. Man, it's a good feeling when all this studying and preparation. Jeremiah, I've watched Stain and Steel Experts YouTube every single video since the beginning of last winter. Yeah. And you just don't get it overnight. Yeah. And nobody wants to start at the bottom.
Everybody wants to come in and be on the top.
Yeah. You gotta put the work in, and guys like yourself and Paul and Brian and Caleb. And I like to think myself that are putting all this information out and all these golden nugget bombs. Man, there's no reason why you need to start at the bottom.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's I'm excited. I'm holding you to this. I want to know how this goes. I want to know how this goes because I think the closing rates are going to be insane. You're going to add so much. Your revenues are going to increase so much just off of this. I feel like I can't wait to see how that goes. But man, this has been so fun. We got about 10 minutes left. I got a hard stop coming up because I have another recording coming up here soon. But let's kind of. Everything we talked about so far has been great. Great business tips. River City, awesome business. Sounds like. I hope y'all have been informed a lot through that. But let's move into the podcast talk real quick. So for any of you that don't know, if you're new to the show, I've been on the podcasting train since June. And when did you start? Was it mid-July, June, May?
Something like that.
We were about the same time. So
what
we were talking about before is we're kind of in the same boat right here. We've been in the same length of time. We both started out. Do you have a big Instagram following?
Not huge.
Yeah.
Not huge.
So we're not starting out with 25,000 followers or YouTube subscribers. So it's cool for us. We can relate on this and go back and forth about stuff. I know there are a lot of guys out there, and I've personally received messages from them, you might have too, that say, I want to start a podcast. I want to. It's something I've been thinking about doing. Do you have any advice on if you do want to, for anybody that wants to start one? You just did it. I just did it. We're doing it, and like we said, it takes a lot of time. It's a big commitment. What advice would you give to anybody who's thinking about it or on the fence of maybe doing it, maybe you're doing YouTube, any of that stuff?
So I'm personally a person that I love excellence. So I had to go with excellence with the producer. I went with Mission Producer. I'm not on the tech side. You are. I'm a little older. I'm an old dog. You're not going to teach me that stuff. It ain't going to happen. So, you got to do your homework. You got to get on all platforms. You got to know what it takes to get on all platforms. Yeah. It's all that stuff. And again, you got to stick to it. I think like most podcasts last for like 3 episodes and they quit. Yeah. It's hard, man. Like in the beginning, I was like, should I be doing this? I had that same thought. Like, should I be doing this? I'm like yelling at this mic, trying to get like some things off my chest, like we were talking. And then I had this like idea click because our boy Paul does these road tours. Yeah. And he goes and travels. Well, I can't do that. I'm working. I'm like, what if I like bring on guys from regions? And I started with the Northeast because I really clicked with those guys out of Boston and the New York area. Like they're awesome dudes. We just click a lot on Instagram. Mm-hmm. And they're the ones that pushed me to do a podcast. So then I just started bringing on guys in this heavy saturated area because, if you have one on the podcast, well, the guy that's a block away is going to listen. And then he wants to be on. And then it snowballed. And then I just got so much traction. And I'm like, I could take a deep breath. I'm like, what I am doing is right. So, you got to have a plan. I came in with it. With a plan from the get-go, with a list of people that I wanted on and what I wanted to talk about, with the list as far as like episodes, like maybe you want to bring it up. You don't want to come in hot and heavy, then fizzle out. Yep. You want to bring it up, lay that groundwork, like Brian always says. There's a lot more to it, but just think it through and be dedicated. Again, I don't like doing anything halfway. Yeah. I'm a 100% type guy, and I'm sure you can probably tell. I get hyper on the podcast. I get hyper on this, but I love it. I love sharing any knowledge because I know that I'm going to save someone time, energy, money, and again, like I said, family time. It's just I will do that, and I will be the person. And Jeremiah, I don't want to get all crazy now, but I will be the person that people will look to in years and ask for advice and listen to their podcast for advice because I'm going to bring the best people on. They are going to drop the best knowledge in my industry, the fence world, because there is nothing out there for us. Yeah. And we will become a source of knowledge. Yeah.
Bring it on.
I'm happy for it. I'm proud of it. And I'm just scratching the surface, dude. Yeah.
Big goals, big dreams. You got to have that. You got to have that vision, that mentality. One thing that, and I think you'll really appreciate this quote, Nick Saban, coach of Alabama football. I'm an Auburn fan. Nick Saban, greatest football coach of all time. No question about it. He's insane. The stuff, if you ever just like listen to some of his quotes and stuff, he's a wealth of knowledge. Something I heard him say the other day in just a normal press conference. He said, if you strive for perfection, you might reach excellence. And that's exactly, I feel like you could take that and tell that to your guys, anybody out there. And I've already mentioned this on the podcast before, but it's so big. If you strive for perfection, you might reach excellence. So you're at that excellence stage, like that, and that's if you start a podcast, strive for perfection. Strive to get the best guest, the best producer, all the best. You might reach excellence. Excellence is good. If you reach excellence, you're doing great. Mm-hmm. Nobody's ever going to be perfect, but if you reach excellence, you're doing really good.
Absolutely, that's a mindset, Jeremiah. That's an absolute mindset. When I finish a fence, and if my customer is home and they don't come out and they're like eyeballs are the size of softballs, and they're like, "Oh my goodness, it went up this quick and you were that good." If I don't get that,
let you down.
Dude, I'm irritated.
Yep.
And I'm like, what could I? And I'm not lying. On the way back to the shop, what could I have done? What could I have done better? And some people you're not going to please because some people are just not people.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it is what it is. But those people that are like, "Oh, okay, yeah, it looks great." No, that's not the response I want. Yeah. And I know some people, probably like, "Dan, you need to calm down." But no,
I'm all about it.
Got to strive for it. Yeah. I will not stop. And maybe that's a fault. I don't know. It is what it is. But that's absolutely true, Jeremiah.
Yeah, that's awesome. That I'm glad. I can hear it. I can hear it in your voice. I know that's what River City Fence is, and that's the kind of quality that you're wanting to bring. So, man, Dan, this has been awesome. We're going on an hour here. This is arguably my best podcast episode. I've enjoyed this so much. I've started a new segment here at the end of things, and I actually forgot on my last show. It bugged me. Like you're saying, excellence is what we're striving for, and it bugged me that I forgot. But I don't want to forget with you, and I think I want to hear this answer. Doing a little segment here at the end of all my episodes. I have one question to ask, and it's not too in depth. I didn't give you a beforehand thing here, so it's gonna be honest answer right here. Is what it's gonna be. What is your why? That's what I want to know from people. What is your why? Why do you get up and go to work every day? Why do you want River City Fence to be the best fencing company in your area? Why do you do what you do?
Jeremiah, I am only scratching the surface, and what I mean by that is I want more divisions of River City Fence. And not just fence companies in different cities, but just different divisions. And I have that at my fingertips right now. I will be implementing that in the spring. That being said, I will bring on the highest quality guys or females in my area to work at River City Fence. And I will be an elite employer in my community. Hands down. My guys now live great lives. They support their family. My guys are clean cut. If you've seen them in the street, they're like, wow, that's, you see them with their family. Like, that guy probably has a really good job. They drive nice vehicles. They're eating at a great restaurant, whatever. Mm-hmm. But you can tell, and they will work at River City Fence. They are proud to come in to work at River City Fence. They love what they do at River City Fence. I will be that elite employer in my area, in my region. However you want to look at it, my trade, I will be that person. I know I will be, and that's what I strive for. I don't do it for the money. I live below my means, because I just have, when you're the entrepreneur mind where it's just like nonstop and you can't go to bed at night, and you can't, and you want to wake up 4 hours extra early. Jeremiah, I am just scratching the surface, and I will support families and change families' lives. River City Fence will do that.
I love it. That's it. We're going to wrap it up with that. There's nothing else left to be said. Awesome. I love it. Tell everybody where we can find you.
At River City Fence 1985 on Instagram, at the Fence Industry Podcast on Instagram. But yeah, you'll what do we drop every Wednesday? All major platforms. We drop a new episode. Maybe one day we'll go to twice a week, but right now once is definitely enough.
Yeah.
And we're having fun. I get hyped around the podcast. But yeah, it's a good time. We have a good time. It's really enjoyable.
I love it. Guys, go check them out. Fence Industry Podcast. It's a great show. I would say we are the two newest podcasts that in our realm of things, kind of that everybody's connected. I know I saw one that Mr. Producer's doing, the Aussie out of Australia. That one looked good. I hadn't gotten to listen to it yet.
I'm not sure if he's doing that, but I have seen that pop up too. It's like brand new.
Yeah, brand new, like last week new. But guys, go check him out if you can. Leave him a big 5-star rating and review, because that stuff really it boosts the podcast. It boosts the algorithms, all right, and it really gets us out there and furthers us in these communities. So thank you all for tuning in today, guys. Dan, thank you so much for your time. You took your Friday night to do this with me, and I really appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you, Jeremiah, again. I had a great time.
Absolutely. Well, guys, thank you again for listening. I will catch up with y'all here on the next episode. Y'all have a great weekend. Whenever it is you're listening, maybe it's not a weekend, but whatever time of the day it is, go out and crush it, and we'll see y'all here on the next episode.
Thanks for tuning in to the Growing Green Landscapes podcast. We know you have many other podcast options to choose from, and don't take it for granted that you chose to spend some time with us today. You can connect with Jeremiah Jennings at Growing Green Landscapes on Instagram, or use the link in the show description. Don't forget to smash the follow button on the podcast and leave those 5-star ratings and reviews. We hope you crush it in your business and hope to catch you on our next episode.